Y'all, welcome to the Don't Fret podcast, where I don't want you to fret about what I say, but I do want you to think about it. Are you screaming? Are you screaming right now? This is your host in front of your head, Justin Frett. I know y'all can't believe it. Y'all have been DMing me, sending comments, emails. Some of you have called my phone. I will be changing my number. I have, like, so many of you have been asking for this day to come, and it has come. I really can't believe that we're doing this, but I'm really excited that we are. Some of you might really be wondering though, why am I doing this and why am I doing it now? And more importantly, why on Thanksgiving? Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Am I being rude? Happy Thanksgiving. Um, you know, mm, First of all, I couldn't leave you born on Thanksgiving. That's one of the reasons. I knew growing up that like Thanksgiving was always a really difficult day for me. It was one of those weird days being with family who you didn't really wanna be around. It was one of those days of feeling really bored, but it's also one of those days that feels like the start of something much bigger. We're so close to the end of the year. We're now thinking about our goals and our plans and what we wanna do. It is such a weird and, like, bizarre moment, and it's that feeling you have to kind of sit in because you can't go anywhere but be in the house. So that's why we're doing it on this day, because I got you. But we're doing it on this day because also I'm immensely grateful for you. I am so grateful for your love. I'm grateful for your support. I'm grateful for the way that y'all encourage me and uplift me. I'm grateful for how much y'all think of me. I don't think y'all understand the decision to do this was really difficult for me. And it was something that I was really teetering on doing and not doing. And I wanted to do it because y'all kept asking, and I want to fulfill the ask because I love you that much. But there was a part of me that was scared to do it because I understand what this means. You see, y'all know me well enough to y'all know I analyze every single thing. And when I get this asked to do a podcast, I think it's much deeper for me than it is for you. I think about the weight that people's words can hold and the access we allow folks' words to give us. Some of y'all be shady in the comments and y'all joke and be like, "Oh, you Maya Angelou." I don't laugh at it. You think you're funny, you're not. But one thing that I love about that is Maya Angelou said something that forever changed my life. I remember being in my beginning phases of college, and I remember a video where she was sitting with Oprah, and this video actually went viral, and y'all were laughing at her, and every time I see this clip, I actually get emotional at it. And she said words of things. They seep into the rugs, they seep into the walls, they seep into our clothes, and they seep into us. Words of things, be careful about the words that you use. That changed my life. I heard that and I moved in kindness in a different way. I heard that I stopped gossiping, and I used to love a good piece of gossip. I stopped all of that because I realized words were things. And so when you asked me to do this podcast, I got nervous because I remembered that words are things. And you're giving me permission to speak over your life. You're welcoming me into your headphones. You're welcoming me into your computer, your cell phone, your bedroom. You're going to tell folks what I'm saying. You're going to share it with the kids and with the family. You might play me in the car while you're driving. I'm speaking over you, and that is a responsibility that I don't take lightly, but it's one that I definitely do take with honor. And I believe that that's something that I hold near and dear to my heart. Is how much I have grown to really value me in your life. And I can't say it in enough words how grateful I am for that place in your life. A more personal reason as to why I'm doing this now and why it's necessary for me right now is because I've been doing a lot of self work. I shared with y'all a clip already talking about being beautifully broken. And, what that clip really meant for me and what I was really trying to confess to you. And so I'm really ready for this now because I had an epiphany recently, as y'all know I do. And I realized that I'm at a place in my life where I'm healing from what I never realized I was wounded by. Can y'all say that with me? I'm healing from what I never realized I was wounded by. And my purpose and my mission and my readiness for this podcast is I want us to heal together because I'm so tired of my strength being solo. I'm so tired of having to be strong alone. I'm so tired of feeling this need to only lean on myself. I feel it is so important to be at a place in the world where you realize you need your village. It takes a village to raise you, it takes a village to support you. And that does not go away in adulthood. I need my village around me more now than ever before. And I'm dedicated to us building the village. I'm dedicated to us building this community and I want us to be healed together. We ain't got to be strong solo no more. And that's why this is the now. And what's so funny is we're actually doing this on my like 1 year anniversary of making content. So the first time y'all were really introduced to me was about a year ago. I was walking down the street. And this is why life is crazy, and this is why I don't want y'all to stress out about your future days, because, baby, when God got you, ain't nothing that's gonna ever stand in your way of your destiny. When you understand that that man is for you, there is nothing that can ever stop you. I remember it was November, it was freezing, I had on a Yankee hat. I'm getting emotional. I had on a Yankee hat, I had on my gray trench coat, which was my grandmother's, God rest her soul. And, I had on my favorite COS sweater, and had on my white T-shirt, and was seeing this controversy going on TikTok. I'm not gonna get deep into what I was ranting about because 'cause I'm not gonna let y'all get me started today, it's not about that. But what was happening was bothering me so much, it was consuming me so much that I said, "I have to make a video about this, I have to talk about this," and I don't know why, because I was never making content beyond that before that point, and I screamed at that phone, and I ranted on that phone. And in it had to be in an hour or 2, it had hundreds of thousands of views. I never experienced that in my life. And I wanna drop this dime on you real quick, whether you're religious or not, whether you believe in God or not, whether you believe that there's something greater in the universe looking out for you or not, please know the supernatural power that is within your instinct. Please know how phenomenally great that internal thought is that is in your brain. Because something said to me after the success of that video, something said, "Do something else." Something said, "Make something else, record something else." I didn't know what it was gonna be. And can I tell you something even more funny? I recorded that second video just a few blocks away from where this studio is. I was sitting on a random bench in Hudson Yards with that same Yankee hat, that same coat, the same day, minutes after that first video. That video amassed millions of followers, and it was in that millions of views, and it was in that moment that I said, "Oh my god, maybe this can be something." It is remarkable where life will land you, and it's remarkable that a year has passed and it has landed me here, and we have built what we have built so far. And so when I tell you that I am grateful for you, that is that's the only word that I can grasp at, because the magnitude of my thankfulness spans much greater than that. Much greater than that. And I believe that the reason why we have made it so far together, honestly, y'all, is because I've always moved with intention. When I ranted and did that video, it was never about being famous. It was never about being known to you. It was never about having followers. It was never even about being seen. I said what I said because I felt that it needed to be said, and I understood that whoever it landed on, they might have a breakthrough with me. If you don't do content, if you're not into this thing, you don't understand how remarkable it is that in this line of work, I am talking into the abyss and it lands on you. How It's unbelievable. I'm not speaking to you, but it feels like I'm speaking to you. Nothing I'm saying is directed to you, but it feels like it was exactly meant for you. That is divine to me. And I've moved with intention throughout this whole process for us to really have connection and for me to call some stuff out. Anytime I sit and I scream at that phone, I'm saying what I feel needs to be said. I'm hoping that together we have some clarity. I'm hoping together we have some understanding. I'm hoping together we realize the ways in which we have may been a problem in our own lives, in our own interpersonal relationships, in our own chaoses with not just ourselves, but with the folks around us. I never moved into this thing hoping to gain anything in the monetary. I never hoped to have attention. But like I always tell y'all, and I'm going to repeat myself a lot through this journey because I stand on what I say. When you walk in alignment with purpose, you are bound to have visibility. You will be seen by those who are meant to see you. I have been seen by for a reason, and I've been seen because I've been walking in purpose, and my purpose is much greater than screaming on the sidewalk. Part of my purpose is sitting here with you. And so as I talk about intention, as in I talk about purpose, I gotta quote myself again. I'm just so damn good. I can quote me all day long. I just been so good. I've done me good. Pat pat on the shoulder, pat pat on the shoulder. I can quote me all day long. Also, I've noticed that a lot of y'all keep saying, I can't wait for the book. Can I do one thing at a time? That's a sidebar. I wasn't even prepared to mention that, but that's just, can I do one thing at a time? Yeah, beg for the podcast. It hasn't even come out yet. It has now. Congratulations to us. And now you begging me for a book. Give me a second. Don't rush me. Don't rush me. It was so funny because I remember the first time that I was talking about this podcast and I was doing something on live referring to the podcast. And someone has said to me, like, okay, when is it coming out? You keep talking about it. When is it coming out? And I was like, baby girl, you can't rush me to the mic. God has to land me here. God has to guide me. You can't rush me to the mic, or we not gonna be talking about nothing. Nothing at all. But he finally dragged me over. He said, "Okay, come on, get ready. Get ready, let's go. You've been dragging your feet too long. You've been acting like you're not ready for too long. This is your time and your time is now. Get ready before I snatch your blessing away." And y'all know I need all minds. So I said, "Okay, I'll sit down." And we're doing the thing. But when I was talking to you about intention and purpose, I also brought that up because I want y'all to hold me accountable. And I want you all throughout the process of this podcast to make sure that I stay true to the intention. My intention here with every single episode is that we're better when we exited than when we entered. My intention here is for us to have a breakthrough. My intention here is for us to be healed from the things we didn't realize was wombing us. My intention here is for us to build community. My intention here is for understanding and to understand that we're not in competition, we're in community. My intention here is to be better. Y'all already know that I want to meet the best of me. And I know that through this podcast, we are going to put in the work to make sure that we are introduced. I'm going to meet the best of Justin. I'm going to meet the best of Justin. And there's no doubt in my soul that you're going to meet the best of you. And because I love you as much as I do, because I'm grateful for you as much as I am, I'm going to forewarn you by saying that I'm going to call you out in this process. I've already called you out on TikTok and Instagram. Come on, I ain't changing up. I'm gonna change the looks though. Do you like this? Just a little something Thanksgiving. I'm not just gonna change. I'm gonna change up the looks, but I'm not changing up the core of who I am. And I'm gonna continue to call you out because I love you that much. And I believe that when you love somebody and you are dedicated to pouring into them, that means you are dedicated to letting them know the moments in which you don't think they're operating at their highest frequency. There's certain aspects of our lives that we've been lacking. There's certain moments that we've been conducting ourselves in a way that was beneath our caliber. There's mistakes that we've been making that we knew better to make. There's been paths we've been walking down that we knew not to turn that corner. I got to call you out because I want you to operate in your greater. If you're going to meet the best of you, then you need to conduct yourself as your best today. If you're going to be introduced to the best of you, we got to put the excuses aside. We're going to make mistakes, but we're going to learn from them and we're going to operate better as we move forward. I got to call you out. You're not operating in your greatest frequency. And I'm seeing it with your own personal relationship with yourself. I'm seeing it in your relationship with your partners. I'm seeing it in the way that you're operating with your family. I'm seeing it with the way in which you're thinking about the world. I have to call you out because I need you to move better. I love you enough that I'm going to do that for you. So there's going to be moments here you're going to be offended. Sorry, not sorry. There's going to be moments here you really not going to like me, but you're going to still come back next week. Hopefully. There's going to be moments here that you might say, I don't know why he said that and I did not like it. And that's also okay because I'm not above reproach. So I'm begging you to love me enough to also call me out when you don't think I'm operating at my greatest. Yeah, I have so many moments where y'all will say to me like, "Oh my god, I don't know how you think the way you think. I don't know how you look at the world the way that you do. Like how did you get here?" And I part of how you get here is understanding that as long as I have life to live, I have a lesson to learn. As long as I'm still breathing, there is something that I need to get right because I'm definitely going to do something wrong. And when you submit to that understanding, not only have you given yourself grace, but you have given yourself permission to make the mistake and you have prepared yourself to learn the lesson through it. I have fallen many times and my beautiful, gorgeous pants are covering up the scrapes on my legs. I have fallen many times, but I'm still here. And hopefully, through my trial and my tribulation and my journey, I have a testimony to share with you. And it is a testimony that can prepare you for the test that you are going to go through in your own life. That might be similar to mine. That might be way different than mine. You might know somebody who's gone through what I've gone through because I'm definitely going to get vulnerable here with you because I love you that much. And speaking of my love for you, the theme of this episode is gratitude. And since I am in that season of repair and doing the work to investigate the things that shattered me, I also have to give myself grace enough to applaud me. I have made so many strides. I have gone through so much. I have adored so much. I have to applaud myself for what I have overcome despite the odds. Yeah, I know I'll be having my conversations with God on a daily basis. And the other day when I was on the phone with him, it's still so funny to me when I say that. The other day when I was on the phone with him, I said, God, I really have to thank you because some people died from a mistake that I just learned a lesson from. You wasn't ready for that. What you what sit back because we just get started. I said, I have to thank you because some died from a mistake I just learned a lesson from. Y'all don't understand how many folks I love so deeply who are not with me anymore. And they made the same mistake I made. I learned a lesson, they lost a life. How many people I know that didn't recover from what it is that they went through. We went through the same thing. I learned a lesson, they lost their ability to move. I learned a lesson, they can't speak anymore. I learned a lesson, they're not even in their right mind. When you look at the world that way, there is no way you cannot sit in gratitude. There was not too long ago, I was standing in my bedroom. I had beautiful braids. You know, I'm going to bring them back one day, but we're not there right now. I got to let my scalp breathe. I just for a little bit. And I was in the bedroom and I was thinking as I do, there's one thing that I love about myself and there's one thing that really drives me nuts. And the thing that drives me nuts is the most exhausting thing in my life is me. My brain is always on go and it never stops. And I'm in my room and I'm thinking about the state of the world. I'm thinking about my world, and I'm thinking about the world that people have to experience with me. And when I say that, I mean you have to be able to not only think about the things that just impact you, but also be able to think about the things that impact the people around you. I'm not selfish in how I operate. And I think about what folks around me must endure compared to what I have to deal with every single day. That's why it's easy for me to uplift women. Y'all go through a struggle I'll never understand. And not only am I empathetic, but I'm an understanding that as a man, I play a role in the problems you must face. I'm empathetic about that. I'm thinking about the state of the world and the world I have to experience. And randomly, I said, I have to get out of the habit of forgetting that my regular is remarkable. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what I'm referencing, if you don't know what video I'm discussing, take a look at this clip. If there's one thing that I want us to get out of the habit of, I want us to get out of the habit of forgetting that the regular is remarkable. I know it's become regular for you to get up and go to work. I want you to remember how remarkable that is because there's somebody out there who ain't got no job. I know it's the regular for you to open your refrigerator and see food in there. I want you to remember how remarkable that is because there's a baby right now who's hungry with no options. I want you to remember how remarkable it is that you have a home to walk into because there's somebody right now who don't. Our regular has become so ordinary for us that we forget that it is remarkable. And when you remember how remarkable it is, you will forever stand in gratitude. I'm grateful for everything because I know I could have nothing at all. It is remarkable that I have a mama to call. It's my regular, but it's remarkable. We got to get out of that habit. We got to get out of that habit. Y'all really loved that video. And it came from a real place. I think as people, sometimes we struggle to be grateful because we want greater things that we discard all the great things around us. Do you know what I'm saying? We want greater things. We want the bigger house that we forget to be grateful about the house we are sitting in. We want the greater clothes that we're not thinking about how amazing it is that I still have the option to have some stuff on my back. You might have wanted the greater things of a better Thanksgiving dinner. The turkey was dry. You wanted it a bit more moist. The stuffing didn't hit the way you wanted to. You wanted to be a little different. The mac and cheese wasn't cheesing the way you wanted it to cheese. That you don't think about how phenomenal it is that you had a plate on your table, that you had a day like this to share with the family. We want greater things that we discard the great things that are around us. And we forget that our regular is remarkable. It is not beyond me how remarkable it is that I live the life that I live. And we're not complacent. I'll never say that. There are things that I want to be better, and I'm actively trying to make sure that they are that. But I cannot disregard how remarkable this life still is, even though this life is my ordinary. It is my regular. I had to check myself the other day because I said, why didn't this video perform? And I'm like, Justin, you really sitting around complaining about a video that did 50K? Do you realize that your regular is remarkable? You're sitting around complaining because you couldn't get the bag you wanted to get. I'm going to get it. Don't ever quit. Now, hold on. Hold on. Sit tight. I'm going to get it. But how remarkable it is that I have the means to get it, but I have the discipline to not. I'm grateful for it. I want y'all to stop stressing because it plays a big role in why y'all become ungrateful. I'm always asked sometime, like, how is it that, you don't get stressed out, that you don't get concerned about your future, that you don't worry about it? And I want y'all to understand that I do. I worry about it every day. I'm worried about the future of this podcast. I'm worried about the fact that I'm presenting to you publicly my dream, and you get to see whether it does well or does not. You get to see whether people really watched this thing or if they didn't. Every time I post something, you get to see if it was a success or if it didn't do well at all. You see that. That's nerve wracking. I'm worried. I'm concerned about it. But I also know that I'm included. Don't be confused. I'm going to explain something to you. I want to give you an analogy. Have you ever been to a party and you go to the party and there's a person at the door, there's security, there's a door person, and they got a list of names on a piece of paper? Now, on this piece of paper, these list of names, these are names of people who are have permission to come into the party. They've been invited. So the person at the door, he skims through the list. He says, "Oh, you're not here. You're not on the list." You see, when you are amongst the included, you have full understanding. No, I might not be on the first page security. I might not even be on the second page security guard, doorman. But trust and believe me, I need you to look through that list again because I might be on the last page and I might be number 182, but I'm included. I'm favored like that. I don't worry about my tomorrow because God has had me all through my past. Don't miss that. I'm not worried about my tomorrow because God has had me all throughout my past. He's not going to let me go now. He's not going to fail me now. He's not going to release me now. He's not going to discard me now. He's had me all this way. I got a lot more ways to go. He's still riding for me. And throughout the journey, I've been included. You see, folks may not think of me all the time. They might not think that my name is mentioned. But trust me, if you must check the paper, I'm amongst the included. I'm favored like that. Speaking of favorite, I need to talk about that for a second because I got really mad at y'all a few months ago. Y'all remember that video that went viral for me, and I had said in that video something to the effect where I said, "God, I thank you for everything that you have in store for me. I know that I'm amongst the favored, so the answer is not no, it's just not yet." Let me pause here real quick because at that time in my life, I said, "God, are we doing this podcast thing?" I understood I was amongst the favored, so the answer was not no, it's just not yet. The yet has come though. Do y'all see what I'm saying to you? God, that's my dream job. Am I going to have it? When you are amongst the favorite and you understand you are amongst the included, the answer is not no, it's just not yet. Now, the thing that got me mad at y'all is some of you were disagreeing with me. You said, no, God is not going to give you everything that you asked for, and God does not have favorites. Y'all don't realize something. There's a difference between being favored and being a favorite. To be favored is to be supported, to be favored is to be uplifted. I'm going to be uplifted. I'm going to be supported through him. All the trials and tribulations and hard days that I go through in my life, I'm supported constantly. He's going to bring me through. But what people also didn't realize when I was saying that to y'all is I wasn't talking about the monetary. And that's what's wrong with this generation. When y'all thought about the promises, y'all thought about money. Y'all thought about great things. You thought about greater things. That's not what consumes my life, even though those things are fabulous and I do want them. I want it all. That's not what consumes my life. When I said when I said that I'm amongst the favor and I'm saying that I will be supported and uplifted, and I thank you in advance for everything that you have promised to me, it wasn't that God promised me a dollar sign. It wasn't that God promised me monetary things. It wasn't that God promised me stuff. He said, Justin, you know what? You might go through some days where money will be rough, but I promise you that homelessness will never be your story. That's the type of promises that I'm talking about. Do you hear me? Justin, I know that sometimes you might have food in the refrigerator that you don't want to eat, but I promise you it will never be empty. I know, Justin, that sometimes you might feel alone, but I promise you, you will never know what loneliness is like. I promise you that. It had nothing to do with stuff. It had to do with God had promised me that certain things is not going to be my story. And that is why I sit in gratitude because I can sit before you now and I can tell you this vulnerably. There has been days that bank account didn't have a dollar in it. I still had a home to go to. I still had dinner that night. When it was time to go to work with an empty bank account, I still had a good outfit on. When it was time to take a shower, I still had soap in the house. He promised that to me. It had nothing to do with stuff. It had nothing to do with things. And I have to also drop this dime on you before I move on real quick because I want to let this topic go because I got a lot of other stuff I need to touch on with you today because I know you got to go back to your family. It is Thanksgiving. I want you to also understand because when you are somebody who is favored, when you are somebody who is on that list of the included, there are certain things that are going to be removed from you. There are certain things that's going to be removed from you. You're going to have people in your life that you thought were going to stay, but they're going to go. You're going to have stuff around you that you got very comfortable with, that you got codependent on. It's going to go. Favor also requires removal. Do you hear? Come on, y'all. Favor requires removal. I had friends who I thought was going to ride with me to the end. The end came sooner than I expected. I had family members who promised they were going to have my back. They decided to stab it. Some in the house right now with me on Thanksgiving. Can we get? I'm gonna be messy too. I had the love of my life who's still not even in my life. There are things that are going to be removed from me. I had my dream home that was snatched under me. Somebody else got it. It was removed from me. I had a job that I was super in love with that they laid me off from. It got removed from me. And sometimes that discourages you. Sometimes you think, oh, I got to give up. Sometimes you think, oh, life is really never going to go my way. When I say that part of favor is removal, what I'm really telling you is this: God is going to remove some things out of your life to make room for the abundance. I hope you got your notebook. You might have to rewatch this episode because I've been dropping dimes all day. I've been dropping it all day. Go get your notebook. I'll wait. Just kidding. We ain't got time. Um, pause me. God is going to remove some things out of your life to make space for the abundance. What he has in store for you is much greater than this. It needs room. What he has planned for you is much greater than this. It needs room. The purpose you have on this earth is much greater than this. It needs room. I can't have anybody in my way taking up space. I can't have stuff around me taking up space. If God needs to remove the plant behind me, it will be removed come next episode. I can't have stuff taking up space. If God needs to remove that light over there in the corner, God, make sure that it's removed. I can't have anything taking up space. What I have planned for this podcast, what I have planned for my life, what he has destined for me is much greater than this. I need room. He's making room for the abundance. Don't let it discourage you. I know that it's hard. I know it might be emotional. I know that it might be tough. I know you might be struggling to get through it. I know that it's tough in days like this where you have to sit with the feeling because everything is closed. Everybody's with their families. But I need you to understand that sometimes things have to be removed when you are amongst the favored. There's folks that's going to hate on your favor. They can't stay on the journey with you. They have to go. You have to have room for the abundance. You have to have room for the abundance. Don't let that discourage you. Favor, part of favor is removal. Part of favor is removal. And I want you to know that while I'm telling you this, I'm telling it to myself. I've been working so hard to do things better, to do things differently, and to shift my mindset. That's part of why I need the podcast now. Because sometimes the thing that is holding us back is just ourselves and the way that we look at our life and the way that we look at how our life is going. I need you to give yourself grace and have gratitude for your resilience. All that you have been through, all that you have endured. Have gratitude for your resilience. Have gratitude for your ability to push through. Have gratitude for your ability to keep it pushing when some people wanted to submit to the loss. how remarkable and phenomenal it is your strength. But how happy I am that you don't have to be strong solo no more. You got Justin now. You have this community now. So y'all, when y'all go down there in them comments and y'all see people talking, please uplift the community. Please say hey to the community. Please let the community know what your Instagram is. Let them know what your TikTok is. Let them know what your Wait, we not on X anymore. Ooh, Blue Sky. Let them know what your Blue Sky is. Connect with community. That's what this is about for me. That's a part of the intentions I listed to you earlier. I'm also intending in this season of my life, though, because I've also realized something else about myself that I want to work on. And as we are in the holidays, and as the holidays is really about family and love and connection with people and stuff, I really intend to work on showing the ones I love the love I feel for them. I already told you that favor sometimes is removal. I have to show thankfulness and gratefulness for those who are not removed, but appointed to have a special place in my world. I am with me 24/7. And through all them days and all them hours, I got a dedicated group of folks who have been appointed to share this life with me. My chosen family. I don't know if y'all know the definition of family, but I, I want y'all to start looking up the definitions of words because words are so gorgeous and they have so much of a greater meaning. And sometimes we just get them all in this same context that we don't get how potent they can be. Family is really just the people you grew with. It doesn't necessarily have to do with bloodline. It doesn't necessarily have to do with relation, though it can. It is the people you grew with. And what I love about that definition is as long as I'm still here, I'm still growing, and there's still folks who are growing with me. I'm grateful for them people who continue to grow with me as I continue to live this life. I got to make sure that they feel how much I love them. I got to make sure they feel how much I feel for them. That is one of my missions right now in my life is as long as that I have breath in me, I want the folks around me who I feel so loved by to know how much I am loving on them. I've had such a difficult and troubled time with family. I had such a difficult and troubled time with Thanksgiving. I didn't have a family who I felt poured into me. I didn't have a family who I felt encouraged me. I'm a very interesting person. I was always an old soul. I was always to myself. I was always thinking about the world. I was always consumed with things that most children wouldn't be consumed with. And, it's so funny, and people don't realize this. When you are an old soul as a child, it is a very lonely experience. You're an old soul, so the kids around you, you don't relate to them, or they think you're a weirdo. They're looking at WWE and you sitting around, thinking about, oh my God, what's going on with the government? They don't care. You're a weirdo to them. And then it's difficult, to deal with older groups because you are a child and you are raised to stay in a child's place. So where do you find connection? You have to find it with yourself. I didn't have folks around me who encouraged me, who poured into me, who uplifted me in that way. I didn't. I felt very, very alone. And it was in that aloneness that I had to fall in love with me. It was in that aloneness. It was sitting in my bedroom on Thanksgiving with my bedroom door closed, not wanting to engage with people because they were talking about things I didn't care about, not wanting to engage with people my age because they didn't get me, not wanting to talk to those family members because I know that they looked at me in judgment. I was the little black boy with a high pitched voice who they felt was feminine. Let's call it what it is. I told you I'm gonna call myself out. who they felt was feminine. I wasn't into the sports, didn't care. I didn't wanna go to the games, I didn't wanna play in the park, that's not who I was. And there were some folks who looked at me in judgment and they thought that their face expression didn't give that, but it did. There were some folks who said things underneath their breath and they thought that I was too young to catch it, but I did. And when you get that type of energy from people who are supposed to love you unconditionally, you start to build up internalized conditions with yourself. I'm building up walls about the type of person that I want to be because I have the people around me who have put the walls up themselves. Here I go, insecure about my voice because people made me feel like I should be. Here I go, insecure about how I'm navigating through the world because people made me feel like I should be. Here I go, insecure about what I'm passionate about because folks around me made me feel like I should be. Here I go, insecure about the type of person that I'm going to become because I have folks around me questioning who it is that I'm going to be. It's so hard to break the wall down and give yourself permission to be exactly who you are. I can do the podcast with you today because I'm giving myself permission because I understand that this is my life to live. And I understand that if I don't live as I am, I'm not living at all. And when the curtains draw, when I take my last breath, when I take my last bow here, I want y'all to know that I was me to the end. I can't waste no time on that. I got to do it now. And so I'm thankful for that chosen family who has ridden with me despite that, despite those walls, because I know when they first met me, they said, "Oh my God, he's closed off." But they loved me enough to be patient with me as I got through my journey. I know there was folks who met me, "Oh my God, he's judgmental," but they kept riding with me because they saw who I can really become, and they were patient enough for me to drop the wall down. I'm thankful for that chosen family who loved me despite the moments when they really didn't know if they could. I'm thankful for that chosen family who stuck by my side even when I was trying to push them away. That's love. I tell you that to tell you while you have the opportunity to this day and forevermore, give those people their flowers. Those who love you, who continue to love on you, despite all the lessons you still have to learn, despite all the walls you still have yet to break down, despite all the flawedness that you still have not accepted, give them their flowers. And don't just give them the flowers while they can smell them, give them their flowers while they can smell them at the highest magnitude. You see, when you give people their flowers just when they can smell them, you might be give them to them at a moment where it's not even the best. That's the thing. That's one thing that really be annoying me because if I'm really going through something in life right now, my senses are a little bit messed up. I can't smell the same. My nose is stopped up. I mean, my senses are messed up. If I'm really going through it, I can't even see the flowers right. My eyes are blurry from the tears. If my senses are really messed up, I can't even hear you right because I'm covered up with the noise in my head. If I'm really going through it, my senses are messed up. I can't feel the same. The weight of my hands are heavy. Do you understand? But when I'm feeling at the highest magnitude, when you give me my flowers at the highest magnitude, I can detect it all. My senses are high. I can smell the notes of the flowers in a way I never could before. I can see them. I can see the beauty in them, the color, the radiance in a way that I've never noticed before. I can feel the petals and their softness and the gorgeousness of their touch on my hands in a way I never had before because I'm sitting in so much gratitude. Do you get what I'm telling you? I needed to start this season of this podcast. I needed to start it this way. I needed to talk to you about gratitude, not simply because I'm grateful for you, but because your life is going to be so much easier when you are grateful for where you are and excited for where you're getting ready to go. When you're grateful for everything that you have overcome, but you are so prepared for what's getting ready to come. Life is hard. There is so much uncertainty, more now than ever before. But when you can be grateful for everything that you have, when you can be grateful for everything you know you getting ready to get, when you can be grateful for everything that's been taken away from you, but you have been able to re-secure, when you can be grateful for everything that you have prayed for that now you have, when you can be grateful that you still have your imagination, that you still have your hopes, that you still have your dreams, that nobody could ever take away from you, that nobody can discourage you from having, when you still can have that type of energy, baby, you sit in gratitude in a different type of way and you navigate through the world in a different type of way. I'm so scared about where this podcast is going, but when I clicked publish, I was grateful that I even had the opportunity to have this moment with you. No matter where it goes, I'm grateful that I had the chance because when I look back over my life so far, I hadn't had the chance. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to do me a favor. And then I'm going to go because I'm getting a teensy weensy bit emotional. If y'all don't know I'm a Cancer, y'all always ask me what my sign is. I am a Cancer. I'm not the Cancer who really cries, but this is a really big moment for me. This is so I feel a little emotional today. I'm going to be honest because this feels right. Um, this feels really right. And I'm going through a lot currently. I'm exhausted. I'm extremely busy. You know, you all don't know a ton about me, but I'm in college. I'm in grad school. I do this contact thing. I have a 9 to 6 job. I have so much going on, and I'm sometimes so exhausted, but I'm exhausted by the things that I've been praying for. And so I want you to do me a favor for those who do pray. I want you to pray for me, pray for my strength to stay up, pray for me to stay true to my intention, pray for me to align with my purpose. You know, had a really tough had a really tough night the other day, and I was in my room and I was crying because I'm tired. And I said, God, please give me the motivation to complete my assignment. I don't know what you're going through today. I don't know what you've been going through. And I don't know what you're getting ready to endure. But as you pray for me, pray for yourself and just say, God, give me the motivation to complete my assignment. I know that I'm here on mission and I don't want to give up on what you have in store for me. I know that I'm here on mission. I don't want to give up on what you have promised to me. I know that I'm here on mission. I don't want the craziness that's in my brain to stop me from my destiny. Please protect me from everybody and anybody who is trying to take me off course. Please protect me from everything that is fogging up my brain and making me think that it is not possible. I have faith in you. I know you don't need my help. You just need my faith. And I'm carrying every single day of my life my mustard seed. But all I need for you to do is motivate me to complete my assignment and everything that might take me off course. Remove it from my life because I'm in full understanding that favor requires removal. Y'all, I love you. I thank you for being here with me. I thank you for doing this thing with me. I thank you for embarking on this journey with me. I thank y'all for loving on me. I don't take it lightly the amount of you who message me and say, will you pray for me? I don't take it lightly the amount of you who message me and saying, please don't stop. You've gotten me through. I don't take it lightly the amount of you who has said, "Justin, can you be my friend?" I don't take it lightly at all. And so when I tell you, see, I told you I gotta go. When I told you that I'm grateful for you, I mean that. And so we're starting off this way because I'm so grateful. Please subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notifications. Make sure you like and comment. Make sure you stay grateful. Make sure that you enjoy this day, even if it's hard for you. Be grateful because you're going to get through it. And until we meet again, because we will meet again next week and every week following, make sure you share this episode. Let people know that Don't Fret Podcast is here and is here to stay. And this is episode 1 of what shall be many more episodes to come.